Hi, good morning and welcome to today's class. Today's class is a continuation of our previous class on percentages. At our last class, we were able to treat the first objective, which says we should explain the term percentage. I did tell you that percentage simply means a fraction of a quantity. And when you talk about percentage simply means percentage can also be said to be a quantity, a part of a quantity that is divided into 100 pieces. So 1% can be said to be 1 divided by 100. That is a quantity being divided into 100 parts. One part of it is said to be a fraction. So we did solve more examples on it at our previous class for last week. Today we are going to take the second objective, which says express quantities in percentage. Express quantities in percentage. So our first example says we should find the value of the following: 10% of 200x. Now, what do we mean by 10% of 200x? It means I'm going to divide 200x in 100 places and pick 10 part of it, and that simply means 10% of 200. So we say a fraction means a quantity, a percentage means a quantity divided into 100 places. So 10% of it means if I should divide it into 100 places, pick 10 out of it, pick 10 of these places out of it. So apart from we doing it experimentally, analytically, we can solve it this way by expressing it in percentage. So we say 10%, which we said means 10 divided by 100 times 200 all over 1. So if I divide 10 by itself, it goes one time. 10 into 10 is 1, into 0 is 0. Also, this can also go with this. So that 10% of 200x is equal to 20x. So 10% of 200x is 20x. Let's take another example. Example 2 says 12.5% of 1,000 kilometers. 12.5% of 1,000 kilometers. So what do we do? Remember what you said concerning percentage. You first of all divide the 1,000 kilometers into 100 and pick 12.5 part of it. So analytically, we express 12.5% as a fraction, and 12.5% is 12 times 2 is 24 plus 1, 25. So this can be simplified to be 25 divided by 2. Percentage means times 1 over 100 of 1,000, which is times 1,000 over 1. So let's divide. These two zeros can simply divide these two zeros. 2 into itself is 1. 2 into 10 is 5. So this is equal to 25 times 5. And 25 times 5 is going to be 125 kilometers. So 125 kilometers is said to be 12.5% of 1,000 kilometers. Let's take more exercises on percentages of quantities. This question 1 says we should find the value of the following. Find the value of the following. 1. 22.5% of 900 candles. Still same procedure. If you divide 900 candles by 100 in 100 places, what will you get from 22.5 part of it? So that simply means 22.5 divided by 100 times 900 over 1, which we said is equal to, expressing this as a fraction, this becomes 22 times 2 is 44, plus 1 is 45, divided by 2 times 1 over 100, then to be multiplied by 900 over 1. These two zeros will definitely go away with these two zeros, leaving us with 45 times 9 divided by 2. When you multiply the numerators, it gives you 45 times 2, and when you multiply the denominators, it gives you 2. So this is equal to, what is 45 times 2? 45 times 9, 9 times 5 is 45, you write down 5, carrying 4. 9 times 4 is 36. 36 plus 4 is 40. So this is 405 divided by 2, which is equal to 2 into itself is 1, 2 into 2 into 4 is 2, 2 into 0 is 0, 2 into 5 is 2, remainder 1 over 2. So this is equal to 202.5 candles. So that means 22.5% of 900 candles is equal to 202.5 candles. Question 2 says 60% of 3 kilometers 60 meters. Now we should find 60% of 3 kilometers 60 meters. Now that means 60 divided by 60 over 100, which is the way of expressing percentage, times 3 kilometers 60 meters over 1. Now this is given in terms of kilometers and meters. So the best thing for you to do is to express them all either as in meters or as in kilometers. So we are going to convert 3 kilometers to meters and add to 60 meters. That will give us its equivalent all in meters. So we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So 3 kilometers will be equal to 3 times 1000 meters, which is equal to 3000 meters. So 3 kilometers plus 60 meters will be equal to 3000 plus 60 meters, which is equivalent to 3060 meters. So 3 kilometers 60 meters is equivalent to 3060 kilometers. So that is what we are going to use. So we are going to find 60% of 3060 meters. This is over 1. These zeros will cancel this. This zero will cancel this, leaving us with 306 times 6 over 1. So 306 times 6 is equivalent to what? 6 times 6 is 36. You write down 6 and carry 3. 6 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3. 6 times 3 is 18. So therefore, 60% of 3,060 meters is equivalent to 1,836 meters, which you can then convert back to kilometers and meters. But we know that 1,000 kilometers will give you 1,000 meters is equivalent to 1 kilometer. So I'm going to express this as 1,000 plus 836 meters. So if this is equivalent to 1 kilometer, so this is equals to 1 kilometer 836 meters. So 60% of 3 kilometers 60 meters is equivalent to 1 kilometer 836 meters, or you can leave it as 1,836 meters. Question 3 says we should find 120% of 3 kilometers 10 centimeters. Same thing as the previous example. This is going to be 120 divided by 100 times 3 meters 10 centimeters over 1. For 10 centimeters we are told is equivalent to 1 decimeter, and 10 decimeter is equivalent to 1 meter. So how many centimeters will make 1 meter? Is to multiply 10 times 10. So we have it that 100 centimeters is equivalent to 1 meter. So 3 meters now will be equivalent to 3 times 100 centimeters, which is equal to 300 centimeters. So we'll now convert 3 meters 10 centimeters to centimeters. That is, this now becomes 3 meters 10 centimeters will become 300 plus 10 centimeters, which is equal to 310 centimeters. So I'm going to substitute it in this equation, which is equals to 120 divided by 10 times divided by 100 times 310 centimeters over 1. This will cancel this will cancel this, leaving us with 12 times 31, and 12 times 31 is equal to 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 2 is 6, and 1 times 3 is 3. So when you sum this, it will give you 372. So this is equal to 372 centimeters. So 120% of 3 kilometers 10 centimeters is equivalent to 372 centimeters, or you can still convert it to meters and centimeters as we did in the previous example. So this can be said to be 300 plus 72 centimeters, which I can say to be equal to 3 meters plus 72 centimeters, because 300 centimeters is equivalent to 3 meters. So this is equal to 3 meters 72 centimeters, which is an increase. So this is what you will get as your answer. Question 4 says we should find the difference between 22.5% of 36 and 30% of 10. Difference between 22.5% of 36 and 30% of 10. Meaning, get 22.5% of 36, keep it, and 30% of 10, keep it, then find the difference between the two. So we can write that as 1 like this, bracket 22.5% of 36 minus 30% of 10. So I asked to find the difference between this and this. So I'm going to solve them simultaneously, which we know that 22.5% can be written as, this is 22 times 2 is 44 plus 1 is 45 divided by 2 times 1 over 100, which is 22.5% of 36 over 1 minus 30% of 10 can be expressed as 30 over 100 times 10 over 1. So you can simplify what you have in the two brackets before you subtract. So from my records, 2 can divide itself and 36. 2 here is 1. 2 into 3 is 1, remember 1. 2 into 16 is 8. What can go? 2 can still divide. 2 can divide 118. 2 into 10 is 5. 2 into 0 is 0. 2 into 18 is 9. Something can still go. 5 can go. 5 can go into 10 and 45. 5 into 10. 5 into 50 is 10. 5 into 45 is 9. Nothing can simplify further. Let's look at the second bracket. 0 will cancel itself. This will cancel this. So that this can be simplified to be 9 times 9 divided by 10. When you simplify the numerator divided by the denominator, this is what you get, minus 3 over 1. This is equal to 9 times 9 is 81 divided by 10 minus 3 divided by 1. We will now look for the LCM. The LCM of 10 and 1 is 10. 10 into itself is 1. 1 times 81 is 81 minus 10 divided by 1 is 10. 10 times 3 is 30. So therefore this is equal to 81 minus 30. That will be 51 divided by 10. And 51 divided by 10 is said to be 5.1. So what's the question? The question says find the difference between 22.5% of 36 and 30% of 10. So our answer is equal to 5.1. Question 5 says, what is the product of 50% of 30 and 25% of 40? Product of 50% of 30 and 25% of 40. That is, get 50% of 30 and 25% of 40, then you multiply both of them together, which you can express as 50% of 30 to be multiplied by 25% of 40. So separately, I'm going to get for this and this. So let's solve them simultaneously. This is going to be 50% can be said to be 50 divided by 100 times 30 over 1 to be multiplied by 25 over 100 times 40 over 1. Since this is multiplication, you can multiply them at a go. So this will cancel this will cancel this. 40 can 10 can go, 5 can still go in the second bracket. 5 into 25 is 5. 5 into 10 is 2. 2 into itself is 1. 2 into 4 is 2, leaving us with 5 times 3 is 15 over 1 times 10, which is equal to 150. So the product of 50% of 30 and 25% of 40 is 150. Question 6 says we should find 24% of 250. That is 24 divided by 100 times 250 divided by 1. 0 will cancel itself. What can go? 5 can still go. 5 into 10 is 2. 5 into 25 is 5. 2 can divide. 2 into itself is 1. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 4 is 2. So that this becomes 12 times 5. And 12 times 5 is said to be 60. So 24% of 250 is said to be 60. Question 7 says we should calculate the value of 0.5% of 180 kilometers. So this can be expressed as 0.5 divided by 100 times 180 over 1. Remember what I told you, that percentage means to be divided by 100. So this will cancel this, and this can be said to be 0.5 can be said to be half, which is 1 over 2 times 1 over 10 as an expression for this alone, then times 118 over 1. So you can still simplify out. This is equals to 18 divided by 20, which we say 2 can go. 2 into 18 is 9. 2 into 20 is 10, which is equal to, you say to be equal to 9 over 10, and 9 over 10 reduced to decimal point. Decimal fraction can be said to be 0.9. So 0.5% of 180 kilograms is said to be 0.9 kilograms. Question 8 says, what is 60% of 365? So this becomes 60%, which is 60 over 100, times 365 divided by 1. This 0 will cancel this. 5 can divide. 5 into 10 is 2. 5 into 36 is 7. Remainder 1. 5 into 15 is 3. 2 can still divide itself and 6. 2 into 2 is 1. 2 into 6 is 3. So that this becomes 3 times 73. And 73 times 3, we say is 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 7 is 21. So this is equivalent to 219 as your answer. Question 9 says, if y is 0.3% of 500, what is the value of y? That is, y is equal to 0.3% of 500. What is y? That means y is equal to 0.3% can be said to be 0.3 divided by 100 times 500 over 1. These two zeros will cancel these two zeros, leaving us with 0.3 times 5. And 0.3 times 5 is what? 0.3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Divide down 5 and carry 1. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. So y is equal to 1.5. Question 10 says, calculate 65% marks out of 400 marks in percentage. So what we are going to do is, we are going to first of all express 65 as a percent, as a fraction of 400, and thereafter multiply by 100, which is equal to 65 divided by 400 times 100 over 1, so that these two zeros will cancel these two zeros, leaving us with 65 divided by 4, and 4 into itself is 1, 4 into 6 is 1 remainder 2, 4 into 25 is going to be 6 remainder 1 over 4. So this is said to be 16.25%. That is 65 marks out of 400 marks is said to be 16.25% of 400. Question 11 says, what percentage of 2 kilometers is 500? So what we are going to do is to first of all convert 2 kilometers to meters, and then find 50%, 500, what percentage of it is 500. So from our previous exercises, you will agree with me that 2 kilometers is equal to 2,000 meters. So what percentage of 200 of 2,000 is 500? So writing it as a fraction is going to be 500 divided by 2,000 times 100 over 1. So these two zeros is going to cancel these two zeros, and 2 will cancel, 0 will cancel 0, 2 here is 1, 2 into 50 is 25. That is, our answer is equals to 25%. That means 50 meters is 25% of 2 kilometers. And our last question for this class says, what percentage of 16 minutes is 40 seconds? 16 minutes is bigger than 40 seconds. So we are going to convert 16 minutes to seconds, or you can convert 40 seconds to minutes and find its percentage. So in converting 60 minutes to seconds, you agree with me that 60 seconds is equivalent to 1 minute. from our discussions on time. So if 60 seconds is equals to 1 minute, it therefore means that 16 minutes will be equivalent to how many seconds? So x will be equal to 16 times 60 seconds, which is equal to 160 times 6. This is 0. 6 times 6 is 36. Write down 6 and carry 3. 6 times 1 is 6 plus 3 is 9. So 16 minutes is equal to 960 seconds. But the question says, what percentage of 16 minutes is 40 seconds? So we are going to write 40 seconds as a percentage of 960 seconds. That is 40 seconds divided by 960 seconds times 100 over 1. This 0 will cancel this. What can go? 4 can divide. 4 into itself is 1. 4 into 9 is 2. Remainder 1. 4 into 16 is 4 times. What can go again? 4 can go. 4 can divide 26 and 24 and 100. 4 into 26. 24 is 6. 4 into 100 is 25. So this is equivalent to 25 divided by 6. And 25 divided by 6 will give you 4 whole number 1 over 6%. So therefore, 40 seconds is equivalent to 4 whole number 1 over 6% of 16 minutes. That brings us to the end of today's class. In today's class, we were able to express quantities in percentage. Kindly use the comment section for your questions, and please don't forget to like this channel and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much, and do have a nice day.